Hi guys, this is Chemical Reactions Day 3. Sorry I can't be there with you today, but we're going to quickly go over what you need to do and accomplish so that you are on the right track when I return. So, you should have some new words that we need to go over. First is a limiting factor. It's an environmental factor that causes population to stop growing or decrease in size. Symbiosis is any relationship where two species live closely together and at least one is benefiting. Mutualism is when both species benefit in a relationship. Commensalism is a relationship in which one species benefits and the other is neither helped or harmed. So this is a whale with like barnacles living on it. And parasitism is a relationship that involves one organism living with or on or inside another organism and is causing harm. Today you're going to need your lab sheet. That entry event packet from last class looks something like this. And this is where you check your observations and your scientific questions and stuff like that on. You should have a paper copy of that. While you are working on that, you are going to need to understand what a testable question is. So I highly recommend watching the video that's in my PowerPoint slideshow that I sent you. And then I also have a testable question if with a checklist for you guys as well. So it's on the slides as well. But today you're going to be completing checkpoint 1. Okay, so this first part you are going to do independently, not as a group, but you are going to look at your entry event packet, which is the one that you were recording all of your questions and observations on last science class. And you're going to pick 3 questions that you'd like to make a lab on or explore further. And it doesn't have to be the 3 from the same experiment. It can be one from each one, or it can be, you know, a couple from one and one from a different one. Doesn't matter to me how you pick. But you are going to circle 3 questions that you'd like to continue to explore for this project. You are going to transform those questions into the following formats. There are 3 to pick from. How does blank affect blank? What is the effect of blank on blank? Or what effect does blank have on blank? These are going to be that cause and effect relationship type questions that we are looking for. So it needs to be in one of these 3 formats when you are typing it into your checkpoint 1 in this box. The formats are right here for you as well. You're filling in the blanks on what you want to change for your independent and what you want to look for your dependent. Next, you're going to highlight your questions using the code found in checkpoint 1. So when I go back to checkpoint 1, there's a little code. It says highlight your green testable questions, highlight blue untestable questions, strike through any questions that aren't relevant, or you can research them or Google them, and then underline questions you think could be studied using classroom materials. Okay. Once you have that done independently, you are going to type your priority question into the purple box in checkpoint 1. You might not have 3 of them. So based on whichever ones are green up here, that's when you want to put down here. These are the ones that you're going to share with your group. Before you get to share though, you need to use the checklist found under checkpoint 1. Okay? Looks like this. What makes a good scientific question for this project? Is it connected to one of those labs that we did? Is it interesting enough to work on for the next few weeks? Okay, so you're going to go through this and make sure that you write yes or no for those to make sure they are actually questions that are going to be useful for you and your group. At 9:25 if you're morning class, or 12:25 if you're afternoon class, you are then at those times going to meet with your group together. So you need to give everybody some time to finish. If you're someone who finished early, go ahead and work on PLT while you wait for the rest of your group, or wait until this time. But at this time is when you are meeting with your group. So even if you don't have all 3 of your questions, you should at least have something to share with your group. If you haven't gone through and highlighted them, or if you didn't finish your checklist or whatever, that's totally fine, but you need questions to be able to share with your group. So at 9:25 and 12:25, you're going to meet together with your group. You're going to share those questions that you've put in this purple section right here on your checkpoint 1. Once you've decided, your whole group needs to decide on just one of those questions. They can't do all of them, just one. You guys are going to pick one group question that you are going to do and write your lab write-up on. Once you've picked your 1, you are going to then put it on a spreadsheet and get feedback from a partner group to ensure you have a good question. So once you've decided on your research question, you need to fill it in for checkpoint 1. Whose question did you decide on? And this is where you type in what question you guys are actually going to do. And again, it should be in this one of these 3 formats. Okay, right here. And then you are going to go, I know it says Mr. Fry right here, but you're actually going to go and find the chemical reactions group question feedback protocol for my class, which is Mrs. Jestrin. Don't click on Mrs. Muchler. So when you go underneath your checkpoint 1 resources, there should be a protocol for Jestrin. Don't click on the last one, you're going to click right above it. Okay. Once you click that, it brings you into a document that looks something like this, and I'm going to scroll out so you can kind of see what they all look like. But at the very, very bottom of the screen, it says Fuji, Denali, K2, and Everest. You want to make sure you're in the correct class by clicking on those different tabs, okay? You are going to find your group number, which is the table right above you in those yellow, right there. Okay. You are going to type in your group question that you had from this red box right here, okay? Once you type it in here, then you are going to give partner 2, if like you were table 1, you're going to give partner 2 or table 2 feedback. So you are going to find table 2 right here, and you are going to type in then right here, because you're table 1, see table 1, you're going to type in right here, is it testable, yes or no? What's the dependent variable and what's the independent variable? You are going to leave teacher feedback blank. That's for me to fill out for those groups. Okay, so just make sure, really important, that you are filling it in your correct class next to your correct table number. So 6 is filling out here their question, and then 6 is also filling out here for the testable question, dependent and independent, based on table 7's question that they put in there. Okay, once we have all of that, you are then completing everything that we did today and I just went over. You are then going to be able to work on STL and PLT, but since you have a sub, no contents being approved for you today. I would also recommend that if you haven't passed that, you can keep that last additional. Please work on that blue packet and practice those formulas that we had last week. And then Ecosystem passes on Wednesday, which is the day that I will be back. Mentor Day this week is on Friday. It is also Spirit Week, and it is Hat Day today, and I believe Crazy Sock Day on Tuesday. So all of our Spirit Week items are listed as well. If you do not finish in class, checkpoint 1 is going to be homework to this stop sign. Please don't go underneath it. I need to give you feedback before you go underneath it. So to the stop sign, that's where you're going to stop. I also am going to look in here in this document to give you guys feedback before I come back on Wednesday, or before you guys see me again on Wednesday. So make sure this is done for next class. If you don't have it in here, you will not get teacher feedback, which means that is going to reflect in your grade. Teacher feedback is really like helping you get a practice grade today. So make sure you do that as well. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I will see you guys on Wednesday.